One shot, now the future is yours. Go! Yeah, I was building on a lecture. Verses coming daily under pressure. Working on the plot and the scheme, the true style.
Mr. Young and FRGN.
Kick to the gut!
Kick to the gut.
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 Kick to the gut. Kick to the gut. Kick to the gut.
Hey, Kick to the Gut.
Kick to the gut.
Kick to the Gut podcast.
Kick to the gut podcast.
Kick to the gut.
Your podcast sucks!
Is going on. Okay, you know what we have right now? We have a little technical difficulty. Okay, I think we're good though. Hey, that's a great way to start the podcast, isn't it, Foreign?
Bro, what happened, bro? This time is not on my side,
Yeah, I know, right? My entire system crashed, and then all of a sudden, I'm like trying to restart everything.
Okay. Wait, I didn't even hear like the intro of our podcast, so I guess it happened.
Yes, it happened. It all went down, and here we are. How are you doing, my brother?
Yeah, I'm good. I guess it's Foreign in the building.
And it's Mr. Young. Here we go. Let's do it. A story of our Good Friday, I suppose. How's your holiday weekend, by the way, huh?
Yeah, I got no plans, man. It's a long weekend. I'm looking forward to that. I wish, right, bro, WrestleMania was this weekend. It should have been this weekend.
Right.
It would have been so perfect.
Yeah. Like you get the extra day of rest to get you ready. And like, it's not even just WrestleMania. There's so much stuff to talk about. Like we've talked about previously, right? Next week will be NXT Stand and Deliver, WWE Hall of Fame. Then we got SmackDown. Then we got WrestleMania 2 days. It's like, wow. So much wrestling, plus of course AEW Dynamite, but you know, whatever.
Bro, like literally WWE is putting on one show per day for the entire of next week. So that means from Monday Night Raw all the way until the post WrestleMania Raw, we got WWE content every single day, bro.
Bro, it's time to take leave, bro.
Well, you know, working from home, I'm living the tai life lah. So it's all good, man.
Okay,
I all the wrestling I want.
I've never pictured. I didn't think I would ever have to picture you as a tai, but here we go. This is where we are in 2021.
Yeah, this is the end game, bro.
This is the end game. Let me say hi to everyone in the chat right now. The Shadow, how you doing? The Shadow says, stand and deliver, but y'all sitting. Ayo! We got Joker, no? Joker in the house.
What's up, bro? Lavin, hope you're doing well.
Yeah, man.
I don't know whether he
average 95.
Crash as well or not.
He didn't. Everything was good. So, average 95. How you doing? It's good to see you in the chat.
Good to see new people on the chat.
Absolutely, yeah. Average, of course, aka legit on my Twitch. So he hangs around on my Twitch as well. He's always like, "Yo, I love the podcast. Finally, good to see you here."
Oh, nice. Oh, we got some crossover.
Absolutely.
It's like someone from Peacock watching WWE Network for the first time.
Peacock, oh my God.
Thank God we got no Peacock, bro.
Yeah, thank God we don't have to deal with that stuff, right? It's just the WWE Network for us. But okay, today's show, we want to talk about Stand and Deliver because next week we'll focus all our energy onto WrestleMania itself. But before we get into the preview proper, is there anything that really stood out for you on Raw or on AEW Dynamite this week?
Okay, I gotta get something out of my chest.
Yeah.
We are 2 weeks away from WrestleMania, right? But does it really feel like we are on the road to WrestleMania? Like at this point in time, right, Raw is supposed to be really exciting. You got all the hype building up.
Yeah.
I remember even as recently as 2 years ago, remember that pull apart that the women had?
Yes.
Becky Lynch, Ronda Rousey, all like getting handcuffed into the freaking police car and beating the shit out of each other. Like it was exciting.
Yeah, Ronda Rousey broke the police car glass, remember? Yeah, it was very exciting. This year, it seems like, okay lah, the main event scene is quite well built. It's everything below that's sort of like last minute put together, don't you think?
Correct. And I think that is something that we brought up from last week's episode. It seems as if the road to WrestleMania has been so condensed. As if like from Royal Rumble onwards, they had this weird detour. Elimination Chamber went its own thing. The Miz had a 1 week title run.
Yeah, Fastlane.
And I guess if everything was leading up towards WrestleMania, it's good. But I just felt like a lot of things kind of got in the way of WrestleMania. And finally, when they are focusing on the card, alamak, 3 weeks left only.
Yeah, I mean, okay, you compared it to something like Stand and Deliver, which is quite well built, I feel. And like we said, we are going to go and deep dive into NXT.
Correct. But I do have one comment regarding the bill for NXT, right? Very confusing,
Confusing?
This elimination battle royal to decide the first 6 competitors for the gauntlet to see who becomes the number 1 contender for the North American title. Oh my god, okay. So that was...
Okay, I feel like that's just a way, and we'll get into that later, but it just feels like a way to keep something fresh, because Gargano, technically, I know he's in a feud with Loomis, kind of, but I'm thinking Loomis will just win this and then they can continue their feud at Stand and Deliver. That only makes sense. And then you have the whole Indy Hartwell being in love with Dexter Loomis deal also.
All this weird ass, okay. But the thing about NXT is I can always feel confident that every time I watch an episode of NXT, there is either going to be great wrestling action.
Yep.
And there's going to be some sort of propelling forward of a storyline.
Div Royalty, let me say hello to you. Welcome to the chat. And if you're listening to this on Spotify, wondering what chat are you talking about? Well, we are also on YouTube. We've been doing this live stream. Have you heard? Come check us out on Friday afternoons here in Singapore time. Just follow our socials. We'll keep you updated. But okay, let's go into Raw real quick. Anything stand out other than the biggest news that Average 95 just brought up?
Yes. Well, we got to start with that, right? We got to start about what the hell just happened with the Hurt Business, bro. Is this a swerve? It has to be a swerve. It can't be anything else, right?
You're hoping it's a swerve. Okay. Honestly, I'm like, good. Because Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin haven't been doing much. And I wonder if this is just a way of making Bobby Lashley be his own man. Obviously, he's still going to have MVP with him. But then who shows up at the end? Baron Corbin, the quintessential hired gun.
Okay, bro. If you guys have been watching our socials and checking our This Week in Wrestling history, usually the 2 weeks before WrestleMania, we'll be having things like Stone Cold doing a beer bash. You're gonna have like a intense showdown between Triple H and Shawn Michaels or Undertaker.
Yeah.
This year, we got Baron Corbin in the main event. Wow. Wow.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I feel like they just randomly pick somebody. Okay, who is big size? Who has some kind of name that people just hate? Like, built-in heat. Okay, just stick him with Bobby Lashley. He's just going to be there to I'm pretty sure it'll be Baron Corbin versus Drew McIntyre on Raw and next week, and then Drew McIntyre will beat him up, and that's it. That's all. That it's just to give him a match for Raw next week.
Yeah, I was really curious about the decision to have Baron Corbin be part of the end, right? And I kind of did a little digging and find out, on their socials, what is it all about? See whether they can explain themselves out of the situation.
Yep.
Very interestingly, Baron Corbin and Bobby Lashley put up a post about 2 years ago. There was this image of Baron Corbin, Bobby Lashley, and Drew McIntyre being part of one whole stable.
Oh.
Do you remember this?
No, not really.
Because it was a really forgettable, very 3-week alliance at most.
Right.
But so this was during the time when Baron Corbin was like the main guy feuding with Roman Reigns.
Okay, actually, you know what? I take that back. I do remember this. And I didn't hate that alliance. It was a pretty badass alliance if you think about it. Maybe, you're right. They are revisiting this.
Yeah, so and it seems like that's what they did on the caption. They're saying like, the three of us, we were dogs of war, we were hunting, and we do blah blah blah, and then you decided to trade all away for adulation of the fans. Basically, they're shitting on Drew McIntyre. So that's how they try to bring it back and pull some sort of narrative thread through this angle. But here's my issue with that: why sacrifice Hurt Business for this payoff?
Well, as much as we love the Hurt Business, let's face it, the only two members of Hurt Business that are relevant are MVP and Bobby Lashley. Really, Cedric Alexander, as much as he's trying, as great as Shelton Benjamin is in the ring, what have they brought to the table? Absolutely nothing. And when I watch them as a unit, I'm like, okay, this makes sense. I would rather them beat up, get rid of Cedric and Shelton Benjamin, and bring in other people to form a new Hurt Business. Why not give Baron Corbin the rub if they can really pull this off? It's like, like the different variations of DX. Like, you have members coming in, going out, but you always have one or two key members. Well, obviously, Bobby Lashley and MVP are the key members. So why not bring a mid-card guy like Baron Corbin in? So this is my defense of the breakup.
You know what this reminds me of? When Farouk kicked out like Mark Henry, right?
Yeah,
and then he brought in Owen Hart.
Yeah, exactly. Like I know that one seems super random as well, but I think they had more for Mark Henry. The whole point of any stable is to elevate one person or maybe two. In this case, they elevated Bobby Lashley and that was it. The other two useless, go away. Unfortunately.
Yeah, I know, it's such a shame because I was hoping like the rub that they get will make Cedric Alexander a star in the mid card. Will make Shelton Benjamin, going forward.
Cedric Alexander is a star on 205 Live, okay?
Bro.
Shelton Benjamin will be in the main event. The show main event. Okay?
Oh my god.
I know. Hey, this coming from a guy who loves these two in-ring competitors, okay? Don't get me wrong. I don't think they are poor at wrestling or putting on a show. It's just that they literally have no character now.
Literally after this is going to be the high peak point of Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin. After this, you're going to fall into obscurity. We know that. That's what's going to happen. So I'm sad for them because the Hurt Business kept them relevant. Even though the Hurt Business was good for Bobby Lashley, in terms of representation, it makes him look cool. Wow, he got this posse and all that. But I know that if Hurt Business ends, right, Bobby Lashley is going to be fine. He got MVP.
Yeah, exactly.
But the two of them, bro, very poor thing.
Yeah, they're not going to remain a tag team. I don't think they're just going to slide straight down the card. Let me give a few shout outs. Tovakin, Referee Ryan, Irvin, what's up, y'all? Thank you so much for jumping in onto the live chat. Good to see y'all. So yeah, is the breakup, quote unquote breakup, actually technically he just kicked out two members. They didn't officially say, oh, the Hurt Business is over. He said the Hurt Business is over for the two of you. So does it mean that they can continue with the Hurt Business but with Baron Corbin? And do you see this as a thumbs up or thumbs down? Let us know in the chat right now. Hurt Business, no more Cedric Alexander, no more Shelton Benjamin. Thumbs up or thumbs down? I actually say kind of thumbs 45 degrees up. I want to see where this goes. And honestly, now that this has developed like this, I kind of want to see Lashley hold on to the title and move on to dominate with this ridiculous stable that he seems to be building.
Seeing as Bobby Lashley is the CEO of the Hurt Business, maybe this is just a company restructuring right now. They're firing the people. They want to hire new talent.
Yeah.
Maybe. You know what I'm thinking? Okay, hear me out, okay? Because I know that this is gonna be a very random, radical idea. You know who I want to join the Hurt Business?
Who?
Apollo!
Yeah, hey, after the draft, why not? And Baron Corbin is a SmackDown guy, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. So I don't know whether it's Hurt Business expanding to SmackDown. They got two divisions of the Hurt Business, or like if Apollo doesn't go to Raw, they hire a Raw personnel. Who do you think should be in the Hurt Business?
Somebody who has potential. Matt Riddle. No. Speaking of Matt Riddle, we need to talk about his botch.
Okay,
we
gotta talk about that in a bit. But before that,
hang on though. Irvin does bring up a very good point right now.
What's up?
Because the Hurt Business is barred from ringside at the main event. What if this is a trick? What if kicking Cedric and Shelton out of the Hurt Business means they can interfere in the main event?
Ooh, that is a very, very smart theory.
Yes.
Shout out to you, Irvin.
Yes.
And
yes.
That is a swerve that I'm talking about. I'm saying like, what if this is just a swerve?
Yeah lah. So they will come in, but that means Drew doesn't get his big main event moment.
And I think it works because if Drew McIntyre doesn't win, this will be a good reason to like get him out of it while still keeping his momentum, keeping him strong. He got overpowered by the Hurt Business. Bobby Lashley remains dominant, and the swerve at the end is like, it's not on the level of Vince McMahon and Austin coming together, but it's like, imagine at the end of the match, Drew McIntyre has Bobby Lashley on the ropes. He's gonna do the Claymore, did the Claymore, blah blah blah. Referee's down. Then all of a sudden, Shelton Benjamin come in, Cedric Alexander come in, and then they tease that they're gonna hit Bobby Lashley to the chest.
Yeah.
But then they kena Drew McIntyre and he's the one that goes down.
Yeah, and then
Sounds good, right?
They explain it on Raw and everything. It does sound good. You know what the problem is?
What?
It's Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin. Like, it's not a big name coming out. You know what I mean? It's a bit like, okay, lame, whatever.
Okay, here is my suggestion. This is how I would book a new member joining in Her Business. Okay, I got two personal choices that I want.
Go for it.
Pitch.
Go for it.
Okay, first of all, this is based on true, a legit quote that Bobby Lashley and MVP put out. They have mentioned in interviews that they do want to eventually get a female member of Hurt Business.
Okay.
Okay. So I would say that there's going to be a female member that's going to join. And I also think that there's one person that's going to join Hurt Business that is going to be very, very unexpected because he's technically a face.
Okay.
But since he's been out and he's been on the down low for a while, I think this will be a great way for him to make his return out of nowhere.
Are you talking about the guy whose glory we are supposed to bask in?
Yes.
Bask in his glory. And going on that train of thought, right? This eventually can lead up to Hoss versus Hoss. Keith Lee versus Bobby Lashley, and it would just push Keith Lee to the moon lah.
Yeah. And we have to admit, like, Keith Lee has been kind of floundering in the main event. I think this would be a great way to reintroduce him and eventually get his face turned over.
Yeah. Do you think they should add? Okay, this is a weird comment, but do you think they should add white people? You know, like the nation had Owen Hart, so it's not about a black or a color race thing. It's
so
just
basically at this point in time, I think Baron Corbin is a token white person in Hurt Business lah.
okay.
Okay, I mean, I'm not opposed to it, but I think it has to reflect the mentality of the Hurt Business. You know, if he's gonna be all dressed up and gonna be all taking care of business. But like I said about the female talent, you know who I think should join?
Who?
Someone who's floundering as well.
Average 95 actually mentioned, how about adding Naomi into the Hurt Business? Please.
You are thinking what I'm thinking.
Pull Naomi away from this Lana bullshit and let her be a badass. Yes, I think Naomi is due a gimmick change so hard. Like, she really needs it.
I think Feel the Glow was so 2017.
Yeah, and then now she's glowing even more with Lana, and then it's just not working. It's not working.
You know what would be awesome?
What?
You know how to tie in some long-term storytelling?
What?
Bobby Lashley personally goes back to Lana, and then it make it seem like, he's gonna get Lana. Oh, you know what? I feel I want to rekindle this. Actually, no, not you. Push her to the side. Then get Naomi.
Oh shit! Yes, that's Vince Russo approved. Chop plus stamp. Hey, Irvin has a great idea for another fella to join.
Who?
Aleister Black.
Oh.
And he's also black.
Hey.
It fits. And also, what has Aleister Black been doing? Seriously, like, they've completely had nothing to do with him. What's going on? Did he piss somebody off? Did he like cut in front of a line? One of the writers or something? Like, what? Why do they hate him so much?
Okay, first of all, from what I understand, he was drafted to SmackDown. That's the last we heard of him.
Yeah.
After he got drafted, never once appeared on TV.
Nope.
And that happened a few weeks after his wife got released.
So what?
So I do not know where this is punishment. I do not know.
Yeah, it's like Triple H getting punished for the Montreal. No, not Montreal. The what was it?
The curtain call.
Curtain call. Yeah,
curtain call,
yeah.
yes.
But then at least Triple H still had matches. He just lost all his matches.
I would really push for Aleister Black to go back to NXT, man. He needs to get back some of his shine.
Actually, to be fair, that's a really good idea. Like, all jokes aside, Aleister Black as part of the Hurt Business, it fits because he hurts people. He's like this no-nonsense badass guy.
You know, he will sound good as, like, in terms of the hierarchy of Hurt Business.
Yeah.
He could be like their enforcer, or like the guy that takes out the people in, just with the one swift kick.
Oh, okay, yeah, exactly. Dave Royalty says he's still injured, just started training. Okay, so maybe that's why he's been gone.
Okay. I mean, fair enough. But like I said, if Aleister Black comes back, if he comes back,
say that 5 times fast, bro.
Black is back.
Black is back. Black is back. Okay.
But if he were to come back, I really hope that we forget the abomination of his new theme song, which I don't even remember because it's not that memorable.
No, but isn't his old theme song the super epic? Isn't that like owned by the guy who left? That's why Keith Lee's music also they had to change.
Yes, apparently that's the case. I forgot what's the name of that duo.
Yeah, the producers. Pay them lah. Shit, pay them.
Fuck. Okay, the thing about all this ownership and copyrights, me being someone who dabbles in music and do all that, right? To pay someone to use is like, every time he has an entrance, must pay them. It's fucking expensive. It's like perpetuity. You're paying a passive income to the band.
See, okay, they would do it for someone like The Undertaker. Remember Rollin'?
Yeah, of course they would.
Yeah, but not someone on the level of Aleister Black. Like, we love Aleister Black, but WWE in the pecking order, he's not very high. So what are you gonna do? Irvin says Aleister Black back in NXT as part of Tian Sha. Hey, why? This is another one. Tian Sha is all Chinese people. You cannot put one Ang Mo fella for no reason.
He's the token white guy, bro. He's like Mortal Kombat.
Oh no! Well, I mean, he would be better than what's his face anyway.
The Chinese guy, right?
Boa, who hasn't been in the ring for a long time. Thank goodness.
Thank goodness, yes.
Oh,
we have no idea what he's capable of.
That one cannot make it lah. Oh, Div Royalty says Aleister Black versus Karrion Kross. You know, that would be a great way to put Karrion Kross over.
Yeah, actually, I really like some of the veterans in NXT staying back in NXT because you know how, like, for example, Johnny Gargano and Ciampa, like, they should have been on the main roster. If you follow the timeline, they would have been the main roster like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
But it's great that they stayed. And it's like they are kind of building the new talent. So there's like almost like a veteran level in NXT, which there wasn't.
Yep.
Unless you count Cassius Ono lah, but who gives a shit?
Where is he? Didn't he go to NXT UK? Is he still in the UK? What's going on?
So he's in NXT UK as like a part-time wrestler / backstage guy over there.
Okay. Tovakin says it's CFO $. Yes, they were the producers of those really epic NXT tunes. Okay. Before we go back to NXT though, okay, anything else on Raw? Because I want to talk about Karrion Kross. He's going to be main event, obviously. Anything else on Raw? I just remember, okay, just a few things off the top of my head. New Day have become very irritating. I want almost to like dismantle them. I really do. Like, for whatever reason, without Big E, they just seem like two very irritating, or have their gimmick run its course. Because I don't know, I find Kofi quite irritating these days.
Okay, the problem with maybe Monday, right? Maybe it kind of put a spotlight on that. Irritatingness got triggered a bit more. You know why?
Why?
For Monday Night Raw, there was so many segments with games.
Oh, right.
And I don't get it. Like, there was the game segment with charades with New Day.
That was so like hokey. Like, I'm sorry, but it's obviously staged. Yeah, and it just looks really, really bad.
I mean, at the point, if they're trying to put this dissension that, AJ Styles doesn't really know Omos really, really well. Yeah. Like, there's so many other cooler, funnier ways that they can do it. Like, this is just makes AJ look like a stupid idiot.
Yeah. No, but then that's the thing. That's what I thought, right? Like, there's no connection between the two. But then Omos just destroyed New Day. Like, if they had it at the end where Omos and AJ were like, hey, why like this? You know? Then, okay, I get the storyline. I get where they're going with that. But no, they turned it into Omos getting pissed off and destroying everything. So it's like, there was no dissension to be seen after that. They just sucked their charades.
Yeah, the fact that Omos did that halfway through the game, like, why can't he just do it like, you know what, I don't want to play this stupid game. I'm just going to beat you up right now. Like, it would have saved the segment so much.
Yeah, that, I think in their minds, it was like, okay, this is something funny and cute. I really do feel like the New Day, as much as I hate to say it, they've run their course. They are starting to go into heel territory, like, go away, irritating, like...
X-Pac hit,
Yeah. Like, you know how, remember X-Pac was like face for a long time, then he started getting super irritating?
Go away hit lah.
Yeah, and I hate to say that about someone like Kofi Kingston, who deserves a championship run, right? But I like, something is off here. It's too much.
Like, the problem is, right, once he had that WWE Championship run, he should have built on it. Like, okay, even if he lost it, like, if he were to, maybe pursue other titles while still being tag team champions, is okay. But if you realize, after he lost to Brock Lesnar, he never even once mentioned, he never even once acknowledged that he lost the title. He never asked for rematch, nothing. The only thing he had was, like, that one-off encounter with Brock in the Royal Rumble. And after that, back to mid-card.
It's like Jinder Mahal. They just gave him the title for... a cup of coffee, essentially.
Yeah, but it's very sad. Yeah.
By the way, our good, we just talked about him. Oh my god, the NXT UK guy.
Cassius Ohno?
Yeah, Cassius Ohno. He was released during the COVID.
Oh, was he?
Somebody brought that up in chat. There you go. Thank you for the Google, or either that, or you guys probably know this in your head.
Nice. You guys are like our mod / search engine already.
Yes,
so well, we are keeping the show live. You guys can like do all your research and share it with us.
Irvin says Sami Zayn and New Day annoying in the same way. You know what? The funny thing is I don't find Sami Zayn annoying in that way, leh. I find him like he's irritating, but not to the like, oh my god, I want to boo him. I actually still like him. So I don't know.
the thing about Sami Zayn that is going for him is, to me, like this conspiracy thing, he is so committed to the character that you almost want to believe that the payoff is that he's going to find out there's some conspiracy.
Well, I mean, the whole Logan Paul, like what? So they are really paying Logan Paul to show up at WrestleMania? Is that it?
He's supposed to show up this
SmackDown.
week on SmackDown.
Yeah.
But I'm very curious because I haven't seen any sort of promotion on Logan Paul's side.
Yeah.
It could be a ruse.
Yeah, it could be April Fool's joke, huh?
Yeah, it could
okay,
be.
there's more with Braun Strowman and Shane, but who gives a shit? That's just the
Yeah.
worst.
So another stupid game, another stupid segment.
Miz and Morrison. Hey, hop.
Oh my god. Okay, first of all,
I loved
Jomo
it.
Jomo has a very fresh outfit that he wore on Raw, I gotta admit.
Look, man, like I don't know why people don't give these two enough credit. That is some funny shit.
You know what? You know what's the best part about the song?
What?
They actually had a reggaeton beat.
Yeah. I mean, it's to cut out the fellow at the Bugs Bunny. Bad Bunny.
Bad Bunny. I mean, obviously they can't sing for nuts, but they are entertaining as well. So.
Dude, I loved it so much. Yeah, they are super. Like they, to me, are heels verging on being faces because they're funny. Whereas the New Day are now going the other way. They're funny, but not really, and they're starting to go heel for me.
To me, what made New Day work was their humor at that point in time. They like the humor landed because some of the things that they said were in trend then.
Yes.
So like at that point in time, remember they made some Pokemon Go joke.
Yeah.
So a couple of things that they did, like very pop culture stuff. It felt cool, but I don't know why. Like maybe because we know like Xavier Woods is really kind of has some sort of sponsor, right? He got endorsed recently.
Yeah.
So he's doing his own thing. So like it almost feels like it's very corporate, really.
Or maybe he's just not putting as much effort in, you know. And I don't think Kofi has that sort of like in tune vibe as well. So he's just, you know, throwing out baby and whatever. Like that shit is not landing at all. None of it is landing.
You know how you can tell whether somebody is which wrestler is very invested in their wrestling career?
How?
You go see their Instagram page where they promote more.
Oh, okay. I see.
Because Xavier Woods very obvious. Austin Creed, his IG page, he's literally what he put as his title is he's a gamer.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, there you go. That makes sense. And, I mean, to WWE's credit too, it's like, okay, they see it. There's a huge market in gaming, right? So let him go with it. Like, he's the gaming champion of the WWE.
Yeah.
Get in those eyeballs.
Is it to the detriment of his wrestling career? Because he hasn't won a singles title. You know, he has been exclusively a New Day / tag team guy. Even though we all know he can wrestle. His wrestling is great.
Okay, let's move on then. Randy Orton. Okay, I think this is just, I mean, the groundwork has been laid. There's not much else they need to do. Randy versus Bray Wyatt, WrestleMania. Yeah. Let's go.
So the question is, should Bray have one more appearance before WrestleMania as himself? Like, well, not crazy, but burn charcoal.
He has to be Sauta Fiend all the way. In my mind, the Uncle Rogers, Mr. Rogers, I mean, Bray Wyatt is dead for now. He's not gonna, because he's Sauta. He's Sauta Fiend.
It's almost bro. It's as if Alexa Bliss has become the Mr. Rogers part of his character.
Yes.
Explaining things for him. And he's just the guy that's sitting on the swing being weird.
Yeah, he's the demon. He just shows up and whatever. So I have nothing bad to say about this. As long as I get to see more Alexa Bliss.
Oh man, Alexa Bliss straddling on top of Randy Orton.
Oh yo, making Mrs. Orton all upset and everything.
Yeah, okay, wait. Last thing though. Do you think, because they haven't hinted it at all so far, is it going to be a normal match or is it going to be a Firefly Funhouse Part 2?
Oh, I hope it's a cinematic match, to be honest. I really do.
It should be. It
should really be. It's just, as long as they don't do a rethread of their House of Horrors match again already.
Here's what I think, because there's going to be a live crowd, right?
Yeah.
I believe it's going to be...
half and half?
It's a half and half, yeah.
No, that was what the House of Horrors match was.
but hopefully it's something that is like a bit palatable. So they start off in the ring, they fight through the crowd, and then they go backstage and boom, they end up some sort of like alternate dimension shit.
Yeah.
And then coming out.
Could be. And then got wardrobe change and everything. Look, it's up to them to be creative about it, and we'll just see where this goes. But Randy has to go down, you know? Like, how many times has it been that the Fiend or Bray Wyatt has lost to Randy Orton at WrestleMania already?
Yeah. People keep forgetting that actually Randy is the heel in this whole situation.
Yeah, no. But like they've been doing such good work, especially Randy Orton in recent months. It's like, okay lah, you know.
He's been carrying the feud almost by himself.
Yeah. Everyone agrees that Firefly Funhouse 2 would be great. Hey, what's up? Jason from Brunei, who says, please, Cena make an appearance in the Funhouse.
Hey, you know what?
Yeah.
Jason, you brought up a very good point. You know what would be super cool if they were to have like a match in the Funhouse itself, and then like Randy is like looking around, looking for the Fiend, and then he turns around, suddenly, boom, there's like a frozen figure
John
or like
Cena.
a wax figure or John Cena, like, it's like he's stuck in purgatory in the Funhouse.
Actually, that would be, oh my god. Hey, can you please send them this clip right now? Send
Oh my
WWE
God, yeah.
this clip so they are, oh, this is a good idea. Let's do it.
Oh, one more thing. You know what happens if he were to like go down a weird dark hallway? He opens a door and then John Cena doesn't do anything, just looks at him. He's like,
Oh, you can't see me. There's nobody there. Or he pretends like there is nobody there, right? Yeah. One more thing to talk about on Raw. Rhea Ripley and Asuka, they signed their contract and then they are going to tag together on Raw. They'll probably like fight each other again. Very short build up for this one. Doing Asuka dirty, obviously.
It is. Rhea Ripley is interesting because you look at her, she's a star.
Yeah.
She's a badass. I wish that in the build up to this, they can have her do a few squash matches.
Yep.
I think that'll be really great so that we have to assume that some people have never watched NXT and is seeing her for the first time. I think it would be a great way to just establish a dominance. Like she just beats up like maybe 2-on-1, or destroys Peyton Royce. I'm sorry, Peyton Royce. After her amazing promo, but destroys her and all that, and then then you can see why she's a threat.
I'm there for the Peyton Royce entrance. That's about it. Everything after that, squash. Okay, so let's move on very quickly. Recap. Anything good stand out for you on AEW Dynamite? Okay, let's move on then. Nothing was good. I'm kidding.
Wait, bro.
I'm kidding.
You didn't mention anything to do with Riddle.
Oh shit! Yes.
We gotta talk about Riddle though.
It's okay. Never. What did he say? I forgot.
Okay, he had a psycho seat moment basically. He basically flopped his line live on TV.
In front of Asuka, and then he was like, "What was that? What's going on?" Never mind, and then walks away. Right?
He's like, "No, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry." Then he walked off.
Wait, hold on. But here's the thing, though. Do you think they did that on purpose? I feel like Riddle's character lends itself towards moments like these. Like he's supposed to be this weird himbo in his own world, possibly high dude, right? Like the fact that he forgot what he was about to say. I feel like maybe they did that on purpose. Maybe they're trying to go for a viral moment.
I don't know whether it's on purpose, but bro, he literally looked at the camera. He was like, "Man, I'm so sorry, man. I'm so sorry." And he just walked out. Like and like the thing that saved the segment, because I watched it live.
Yeah.
I watched it like you literally saw Asuka look at the camera also like shit, did he just
do that?
Flop on me?
Yeah. And
then Asuka just said some Japanese word just to like cover it up. I guess it was a nice save, but I tell you, bro, it was a wrap up.
It was super roused, but the thing is, I feel like they did it on purpose. I really believe that they did it on purpose. It fits with his character. They're trying to go for this viral moment, and if more than anything, it's more talked about than anything else he's done recently.
Okay, maybe we can ask the chat. Like, do you guys know whether this was a legit thing? This just happened? Was there anything dirt sheets that investigated into this?
Forget about the dirt sheets, whether they will get into it or not. It's like Irvin says, on purpose. We are talking about this now. So if it's not on purpose, well, we are talking about it. If it's on purpose, we're talking about it. So whatever it is a win. And I actually think that it fits his character perfectly. So
it's basically controversy creates cash regardless.
Yeah, well, I don't know about controversy, but at the end of the day, it fits his character to a T. Of him just like wandering around in his own little world, and then he's like, "Huh? What? Oh, I'm sorry." And then walks away.
I won't blame WWE, but there's a precedent for this. For the longest time, I thought there was this one segment. I thought it was completely authentic, like it happened randomly, and then I found out years later that was actually scripted by WWE.
Which one?
Remember this one scene in like 2006, 2007. Batista was like warming up backstage.
Yes.
And then there was a fan running in.
Yeah.
Like right before they throw to
and then
commercial.
He did the Batista pose.
Yeah, he did
and
the
then
thing.
run off.
And then he got chased by the security guards. And then like the way Batista look at it, like what the fuck. And then JR literally say, "Well, we are live, folks."
Yeah.
That
was scripted lah. Yeah. So like I said, I think they are once in a while they will sneak in some of these moments to make us viewers be like, was that real? Was that supposed to happen? And I think that was one of those moments. Rare, very rare.
I guess so. But you know what? Riddle is a quiet taste. Let's just put it that way.
Well, here's the thing. Remember I was talking about how I can't stand Riddle's new character? Because of this botch, I was like, okay, like he's quite funny. You know? So I'm like, he's actually won me over with this intentional or unintentional botch. We'll see. In the next few weeks, like Tovakin mentioned, if that was real, he will probably get into trouble for it and he wouldn't be on the mic.
If he were to bring it up and make it a running joke and start walking off the set during segments, then you know that he's there running with it.
Oh, the Shadow says that was planned and he'll send me a link later. So, yeah.
Nice.
Like, I think most people believe that to be a planned segment. And like I said, funny. It was funny to me. I loved it. And, okay, what is Riddle having an interaction with Asuka? That kind of doesn't make sense. Like, they have no connection. But if you think about it, Asuka's reactions, and she can speak in Japanese, so we don't know what the hell she's saying.
Yep.
It actually is a perfect combination. If it were like one of the interviewers, they're like, huh? Like, it wouldn't have worked. The fact that it was Asuka and her reaction to him flubbing his lines was perfect.
You know what made the Attitude Era so great? Like when everyone had such a distinct character, and then you have someone randomly from like the main event interact with someone from the lower card.
Yes.
It's still very entertaining because their lower card people, their character is still very, very strong. Yeah, so like if this is like, it's reminiscent of when, remember there was this one time The Rock went to the APA's backstage bar, and then he walked past the door, and then JBL and
go through the door,
Farouk,
knock.
Yeah, go through the damn door. They never acknowledged him. And once he went through the door, he's like, "Hey, what's up, bro?" So I like it when like in Raw or in the main shows, everyone has such a distinct character. It doesn't matter whether they don't have a storyline, but just their interaction is interesting because their character is so strong.
There you go. Tovakin says, turn him into the next Perry Saturn. Instead of a mop, he got the skate scooter lah. All right, let's move on to AEW Dynamite. A few things stood out to me. Inner Circle are back. I mean,
Inner Circle.
Did you enjoy the brutal beatdown of the Pinnacle?
I did, but I did laugh at one part. I love when all of a sudden, right? I think was it one of the FTR guys, the botak guy? He started bleeding like he kena fucking pick up by like baseball bat or something.
Like that escalated very quickly. Like whoa!
Like literally, like where did that come from? Like all of a sudden. Because like the camera was like very chaotic, following everyone around differently and all that. This seems like it's gonna lead to Stadium Stampede 2.
Yes.
Seems like it, right? And I like that Inner Circle has shown a vicious side to them. Because before this, it was like comedy. There was a lot of like distrust. When Inner Circle is back together and like they're strong as a unit in like its original form, they actually. You see why they are so badass and they have been so powerful in the last 2 years of AEW. And
the funny thing is, it almost seems like the Pinnacle are sort of the jokers now, because that whole segment of them trying to choose the color of their locker room, the furniture and all that shit. It was a bit like, okay lah, this is quite douchey and funny at the same time.
Do you realize that they're definitely channeling Four Horsemen with this?
Yeah.
So Inner Circle seems to be more of a hybrid or like its own thing. I've never been able to put Inner Circle in like a comparison with previous factions,
which is good.
Like it's really its own thing because like they are so different in all their iterations.
Yeah.
Like that I can't really place who they are, but it's so obvious that Pinnacle is definitely a homage to all the old factions of the 80s. I mean,
they all like dress up with expensive suits, and it fits the characters of FTR and MJF.
There was this one comment that made me chuckle though on YouTube. Someone said that, wow, we are really supposed to believe that MJF is ordering all these grown-ass men around.
Yeah, exactly, right?
Still young boy lah.
Yeah, he is a little bit, Thoughts on Santana beating down Tully? I mean, it's gang warfare, bro.
Yeah. Well, technically, they didn't really show it. Like the moment the camera followed them, like Tali was just sitting on the chair, looking very tired. So I was in my head, I was thinking like, okay, they are literally just told Tali to sit down and then just act very, very like they just got beaten up and then they focus on everyone else. So,
of course.
Yeah,
You think what beating up elders are?
yeah, come on, man, it's quite vicious.
Yeah.
The part when MJF basically got his head toilet.
Oh
in
yeah.
the bowl.
Walao. Yeah. I'm actually really looking forward to what they have, going forward. And it's a Chris Jericho segment. So, I mean, it makes sense that this is working because it's Chris Jericho and his wisdom, right?
Yeah.
Let's talk about the rest of the garbage. I mean, stuff. Nightmare Family.
Oh, man. Like, bro. Who the fuck is QT Marshall, bro?
Yeah, exactly. Who gives a shit about QT? Seriously, though. Seriously. They've been like bringing him in like, oh, QT Marshall, friends. Oh, yay, nepotism is a thing in AEW. I get it. And then now they're going to push him into like a proper feud. Like, he's broken off with the Nightmare Family with a bunch of newbies who are supposed to be part of the, like, who are these people?
Bro, okay, you know what? It's been tough. It's been very, very tough for me to watch AEW recently. Except for a few bright spots. Like I usually certain segments I will tune out. Like it's very obvious which segments I will tune out for. Anything with Cody right now, I'm tuning out.
No, I feel you know what it is to me. Cody. It feels like Cody thinks he's Triple H. Obviously, we've talked about and joked about that he's like the Triple H of like the 2000s, right? He thinks he's at this very high level where he can elevate other people, which is commendable. But I don't think these people he's trying to elevate are anywhere at any level to be elevated, nor is he the main event guy that should be used to elevate. You know what I mean? It's like, it's just like, okay, like this is all like mid-card shit.
Okay, I'll give you the perfect analogy of Cody Rhodes right now. He is acting like he's in the twilight of his career when he never even had like the main run of his career yet.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
At least not on AEW. Like maybe he had a lot of great runs before this in previous companies, but like we haven't seen him being established as like the top heel or like the top face in AEW. He's really, the moment he came in, he started doing all this like putting people over. Like he's acting as if he's like in his Shawn Michaels second run of his career.
Exactly, when he's never even reached that height. He never had the main run. Like his TNT title, yes, he lasted a while. He did the challenge and all that, but it wasn't there wasn't like a big rivalry that kind of like permeated through his run. His best run in AEW was his first year. Like that was when he was in the top titles. Okay, even though he was contending for the top titles, but he was in segments that was very, very interesting. And then, okay, there's that whole thing about where he cannot contend. Wait, it's him, right? He cannot contend for the main AEW title.
Correct.
I'm sorry, but that devalues the title. As if, like, you know what I mean? Like, he literally
he's bigger than the title.
Yeah, it seems very arrogant and like I'm not for it. That's why I know, like, Average always jokes with me about, like, Cody Rhodes, right? But there's I really, really cannot stand what he's doing right now. I couldn't care less. He has some of the worst segments. He's so full of himself. Like he's, like you said, like, oh, I'm the Shawn Michaels. I'm coming back to put over people. But you've never even hit that level yet.
He needs to turn heel.
He needs to turn heel and have like a monster run. Yes.
You know what? He actually has the look to be like Giovanni from Pokemon. Think about it. Yeah. The fucking suits. He just need to have like a meerkat or like I forgot which Pokemon one that stands beside him.
Meow.
And then with and then like Kane. Like he needs to be very self-aware of himself because if he's not aware, then he's definitely a parody of what he's trying to be. But if he's very self-aware and he plays it and like really puts it up 100%, I think it will be great. Okay.
But bro, what is frustrating about watching Cody and what he does, right, is the fact that he really does think that he is, in that position. I don't think he's self-aware.
Something that I picked up on the trailer for Roads to the Top, Cody and Brandy's new reality TV series, right? If you listen to the teaser and watch the promo, there was this one very, very interesting quote that Brandy said that I think might explain everything.
Okay.
So there was this one part of the promo that they were talking about having a child, and then Brandy said, "I do not know whether Cody is ready to have a kid because he's kind of like a kid himself."
Oh, he's playing up his fantasy lah.
you hit the nail right on the spot, right, bro? Like I feel like that one quote kind of encapsulates Cody, because I think Cody is a kid in a candy store and basically he's given the keys to the kingdom
because Uncle Tony Khan has showered him with all the money.
He already had the wrestling royalty from Dust Inside, so he already got the, oh wow, there's more than one royal family in wrestling.
Shut up, stop it.
So he got an inflated sense of self-importance from there already.
Yeah.
Then now he's given all this money kind of thing. You have to understand, bro, when he got kicked out of WWE, he was an outsider looking in to join the Bullet Club.
Right.
Bullet Club was already a thing before Cody.
Yeah.
And Cody tried to politic his way, be part of it, and then he became a head of it, and blah blah blah. So he's always had a history of like latching on to things and then like trying to create something. So now he's given a chance to be his own, dynasty and all that. It's as simple as the Dark Knight quote lah. You either die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become a villain.
Please, you talk as if he is a main character. He is a sub character, a supporting character at best. So the analogy to the Dark Knight doesn't work for me because he's not the Dark Knight. He's not a main event player. Neck tattoo doesn't give you a freaking main event push, okay?
He is like a prince. Prince of darkness lah. He's literally the prince of darkness in the sense that he's a villain. He's like the villain who is like the annoying that will complain to the father type of villain.
Yeah. Let's see. Let me catch up with chat. Oh, referee Ryan has corrected us, by the way, with Giovanni. It's Persia, not a mouth. I stand corrected.
Persia, yes.
Okay. Who exactly are the wrestling families in royal families in wrestling of Vince's wrestling Game of Thrones? What would it be like? The Flairs, the Rhodes, the McMahons,
the Samoan family,
and Hawaii.
The entire dynasty over there, the Guerreros. Actually, WWE put up a DVD on this 10 years ago, I guess. There was a time when I was collecting DVDs and I saw this wrestling's greatest families. So you might want to check out on that. You'll find out more.
Tovakin says Cody being a part of the Bullet Club was the worst thing ever. You know what? I've never watched it, but I'm pretty sure you're right. I'm pretty sure everything he touches is shit. I'm sorry.
You know what I enjoy about listening to your rants? Like you will go from one person to one person, but it will be attacked with the same amount of venom. It's like Young Bucks for
Cody.
a while, and then it will be like a lot of Cody Rhodes, and then so far Omega maybe here and there, but I tell you, will get there soon enough.
Okay, no, Omega, like what he's doing in the main events, I enjoy him being a complete prick of a heel, and like he's quite self-aware, I feel.
Yeah.
So I'm okay with that. It's the fact that I feel like Cody is not self-aware at all.
Okay, I know why Cody Rhodes is doing what he's doing though. He is stuck in this weird PR purgatory. Like he's trying to be the ambassador for AEW, trying to like do all this like good PR and trying to be like he wants to come across as the face, right?
Yeah.
And that's like the reason why John Cena was hated for so long, because John Cena, we know that he should turn heel. His character is so super stale, but because he's so good for the PR. And I feel like he doesn't know anyone else who can do the job that he's doing as an ambassador for AEW. And that's why I think he's trying to keep himself in that weird pocket.
That's great. That's fine. Don't get into a feud with QT Marshall and waste like 15 minutes, 20 minutes on what the fuck is an exhibition match? Okay. No, seriously, that was a huge waste of time. Like they were going in for moves, but I don't hit you hard with it. Or I'm like, what are you doing?
Okay. Foreign is gonna do some education of wrestling history.
Okay.
And I'm not. This is in no way complimenting their entire feud and angle. I'm just saying this is what I found out. Okay.
Okay.
Because me trying to understand like what goes on in Cody Rhodes' head, right?
Oh, hang on. Average 95 just said Cody better than Bret Hart. Everyone, please tell him he's a moron. Please, I know he's joking. I know he's doing it as a troll, but if we had mods, you'd get banned right now.
He's trying to trigger you, bro.
He's trying to trigger me, bro. Why you do this? Why you do this?
Okay, let me give you my 1 minute monologue of wrestling history according to Cody Rhodes' mind. What he's trying to do.
Go.
Okay, in 1981, this is how far back my wrestling history go. 1981, Bruno Sammartino was obviously the veteran.
Yeah.
And he was going to be retiring very, very soon. His protege at that point in time was Larry Zbyszko.
Okay.
So Larry Zbyszko, they make it sound like Larry Zbyszko is like under his shadow.
Yep.
He's like mentoring, and he always come across as this like good boy face, like, okay, listen to my mentor. You know, I want to do my mentor prop, blah blah blah. But then after a while, people keep saying that, you know, you will never be as good as San Martino.
Right.
You know, and those whispers got to him, and he said like, okay, you know what? I want to challenge you like a gentleman's exhibition match.
Okay.
To prove that as much as I respect him, I know that I'm good. I'm my own man. I want to step out of his shadows.
Yeah.
And San Martino, being played currently by the role of Cody Rhodes, says that, you know what, you're my friend. I don't want to embarrass you, you know, but if this is really what you want, okay lah, I'll give it to you, but I'm not going to attack you. I'm not going to hurt you, you know. I'm just going to show me that, you know, you can be the best lah.
Exhibition match lah.
Yeah, basically had an exhibition match. So this happened for a couple of times. Every single time, Larry Zbyszko just lost. Just by a bit, they lost. But the thing is, because of the story right behind it, they were selling out everywhere they had this series of matches.
Okay,
So,
hang on. Was Larry Zbyszko himself like, was he popular by then when they were doing this?
Yes, he was. In a sense that he was always known as the right-hand man of Bruno Sammartino. So the payoff of this like 1 year or 2 years of like this exhibition gentleman matches where they were selling out in all the arenas across the country, and they were almost there was small hints of him turning heel, and then eventually he actually broke Bruno Sammartino's back. That was like the final payoff. But apparently Bruno Sammartino, okay, in real life, he was already working with a very back injury, and he was looking to retire. So this was his way of coming up with a retirement storyline angle that was legitimate and allowed him to retire and put over Larry Zbyszko. So Larry Zbyszko basically became a full-blown heel because everyone heard, it was like, oh my god, he was so frustrated that he couldn't win that he fucking took out his mentor and then he became a badass heel. Okay, so this is how I link back to this story with Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes said in an interview that his current feud with QT Marshall is inspired by that storyline with Larry Zbyszko and Bruno Sammartino. And he's trying to create QT Marshall into a star a la what Bruno Sammartino did.
Okay.
And I know what's the first thing you're going to say. Who the fuck does Cody Rhodes think that he's some kind of Bruno Sammartino?
No, not only who the hell does Cody think he is, who the hell does he think QT Marshall is? Most people don't know who QT Marshall is, and I'm talking about most wrestling fans, okay?
Yeah.
It's not like you've built him up to be this legitimate mid-carder. He's literally, in my mind, up to now, a jobber. A lower, not even lower mid-card. It's like curtain jerk sort of a guy.
And he's not even a young up and coming guy. He's like already a veteran. He's like older guy helping to train people. You know?
So like, why is he all of a sudden getting this shine, getting this push, and in such a like, oh no, the fact that he brought that up is even worse. Like, okay, y'all were inspired by the feud. I get it. It's a great story, but y'all are pulling it off poorly, very poorly.
So I know what he's trying to do. He said, okay, when it comes to him wrestling, he's going to bring back all this old school storytelling, blah, blah, blah. You want to rekindle all this kind of shit. But they're doing it the wrong people. Like you said, not the right personnel to do it. He's not the right guy to do it.
He's doing it with his best friend. The whole idea of, remember when QT Marshall first came in? He was like, oh yeah, he's friends with the Young Bucks. He's friends with Cody. It's like, or you already established him as
the friend.
A friend. So I'm like, oh, okay, nepotism. That's great. That's fine. And then now, like, he's like, what?
The one time he did a friend angle which was really, really good. Are you okay, bro?
Average just said something that almost made me spit my water out. He says, bro, QT Marshall really looks like one of those uncles working at Courts asking me if I want to buy a laptop. Oh, you want to buy a laptop?
Oh my god, bro. Why? It's such a very specific, accurate description, Average.
He's like Irvin says he's like a Barry Horowitz. Yes! Chat is on fire today.
Bro, that is such... Okay, guys, you guys are giving all these great references. Keep it up, man. Keep it up.
Average says, at least WWE mid-card has Angel Gaza. Okay? Yeah. Look, everyone, like even the WWE's mid-card, they have people that could fit this role perfectly and, you know, look like the role. But instead on AEW, you have some middle-aged uncle who works at Courts.
The one time that I thought a friend angle worked with Cody was his first one with Sean Spears.
Yes.
Like, I thought when Sean Spears came in, he had really, really great heat coming in. So, I mean...
And look where he is now. Just randomly getting killed by the Inner Circle. I guess he's going to move on to a feud with Sammy Guevara. It makes sense.
Yeah.
But like he's been so watered down by now, nobody gives a crap.
Yeah. And the funny thing about...
Hold on. No, Tovakin says the only similarity that QT has with Zabisco is his receding hairline. Hey, you're awful lah. You're salty AF today. I love it.
Okay,
chat.
I like the community that we're building, Young.
Yes.
All very influenced by our thinking.
It just okay lah. Look, all these jokes aside, it just doesn't work.
Yeah, it doesn't. And here's the problem with this. We just spent like at least 10 minutes ranting on this one.
Actually, it feels like 20. Yeah, to be honest.
Holy shit. I'm so sorry, guys. We need to move on.
Also, what is the Gun Club doing in this nightmare? Why aren't they their own thing? Like, Billy Gunn is a name, right? His kid, for all intents and purposes, looks very athletic, handsome boy. Shouldn't they be doing their own thing? Why are they in the Nightmare family?
I have no idea, bro.
Like,
obviously, this is next level nepotism. It's like my uncle is like my friend, so I'm gonna bring all my friends into this part of this big organization.
Yeah.
It's like Latino World Order all over again.
Oh shit. Okay. The Young Bucks, they're having an all elite soap opera drama with what's his face, the
Kenny
Impact
Omega.
guy, Kenny Omega, Don Callis, stuff like that. I don't hate it, but it's not Inner Circle versus Pinnacle. That's the best stuff right now.
I think the problem with Kenny Omega right now, there is no face stepping up to him in AEW. So after John Moxley kind of went down the card a bit, doing his own thing with Eddie Kingston, there is like no one that he is basically challenging. So that's why he's going into this weird tag team feud with the Young Bucks.
What about Christian Cage? He shows up, he has a great match with Frankie Kazarian, right? Like, obviously that's supposed to be where it's going, but is it going there, or are they just going to slow burn it?
I think eventually this seems to be where it's going, but there wasn't any mention of it. There wasn't any like hint by Christian. I thought at the end of the match he was saying, you know what, I'm gonna state my claim. I want to go for the title, but I'm gonna earn all these wins first.
Yeah.
If they kept that narrative front and center, maybe it's more obvious. But I guess now it's a bit unclear.
Bro, I'm very worried for Christian. I'm very worried. He signed on the dotted line, and then he's promised some stuff, and then he's not gonna go anywhere.
Do you want him to be in the main event against Kenny Omega based on his performance?
Yeah, I think he can give it one last run, and then after that, okay, please rest your body.
Yeah, he can still go. I do have to admit. The match was really good. A bit slightly slower guy, but the thing I like about Christian is the way he wrestles in the ring. It's like a smart tactician kind of wrestler. He's not overly flashy. Actually, I really enjoy his style more than Edge, to be honest. Very, very weird that I say it, but here's why. Because I was a big fan, 10 years ago when he had that rivalry with Randy Orton.
Right.
And the thing that made those matches work was that Randy is like a slow, very plodding kind of wrestler, right?
Yeah.
And for some reason, Christian really meshed well because he's very versatile as a wrestler.
Yes.
So he know that, okay, with Randy, he's going to be very fast, very quick, a lot of drop kicks, a lot of like, a lot of planchas that he does, which is very out of his character, but he's doing it because it's Randy Orton. And I really like, because he's a very cerebral wrestler as opposed to Edge, because Edge is like more of like, okay, you all cater to my style.
Yeah.
I'm good. Yeah, so that's how I would describe the differences between them.
Talking about Edge, huh? Going a bit heelish. I feel like that's where they're going for WrestleMania.
Seems like he's the full-on heel in this scenario.
I feel like he's a bit of a tweener. So now you have a full-on heel in Roman Reigns. Edge is sort of like, he's still a good guy, but he lost it. So I feel like he's towing the line. And Daniel Bryan, of course, face all the way lah. So, but yeah, sorry to bring it back to WWE, but amongst all this shit, we had to talk about something good. What the hell did Moxley do? He fought somebody. I forgot who he fought already even.
Okay, I know Moxley is now on his own because Eddie got injured. I don't know whether his broken foot is a real thing or is it like a storyline thing.
Apparently it's real. It's a real thing. So he's this is unfortunate because I feel like them together, I was like, oh, all of a sudden I'm actually interested in them.
Yeah, so it just got ended right before it could even begin.
Yeah.
So did the injury happen because of the attack or it just happened beforehand? And the attack was just an excuse?
Bro, the ring exploded. What do you think?
Alamak, because of that. Okay, got it. I got it.
Yeah, there's a bunch of shit with Red Velvet and Jade Cargill. Okay, I get it. You know, Cody loves a certain type of girl.
Britt Baker to me is the thing that I like in the women's division right now.
Sure.
So I wish there's more of her.
Was she even on AEW Dynamite this week?
She wasn't though. She wasn't. I'm referring to like last week's promo.
Okay.
So that was actually someone I was looking forward to seeing. And I guess the last thing that we can talk about is the main event.
Wait, hold on. Moxley had a squash match in Dark Elevation. Oh my god. The poor guy got relegated to freaking this YouTube show.
I saw it though. I think I saw it. Yeah. I ran through a bit of Elevation this past week.
Okay, like it's to pop a view, right? It's to pop a quote unquote rating to get people to watch. Oh my god, Moxley is on Dark Elevation, but it would be like The Rock having a match on Heat.
Yeah. Interestingly enough, even though I don't watch it and I know you don't watch it, but AEW Dark and AEW Dark Elevation consistently gets 500,000 to 1 million views on YouTube every single week.
It's free content, bro. It's free wrestling content. It's a great idea. Don't get me wrong.
I mean, okay, for example, like when NWA Power was showing, right, weekly episodes, I was really hooked to that.
Okay.
Because like there was a proper world inside that show.
Yeah.
But this is just a bunch of matches, exhibition matches. It doesn't mean shit.
But yeah, but it relates to it kind of relates to what's going on air. So I kind of get it. Like if I could watch Heat or Velocity on YouTube for free, I would.
Yeah, I mean, it would totally have made sense, right, for it to be on a YouTube show now. In this current context, for sure, lah. But for me, it's just too much, bro. And there's a lot of unknown people, so it's like the appeal of watching it is not there for me.
Okay, let's move on then. Yes, main event, Arcade Anarchy. We didn't get to see Miro break out of this nerdy nonsense. Like I don't know, man. Like it's just a glorified street fight, but with arcade cabinets and random bullshit lah.
Indeed. Well, okay. I'm gonna say a couple of positives first.
Yeah.
Okay, best friends. They seem to be really, really good with street fights. I really enjoyed their parking lot brawl from. I think is it against the Lucha Bros? Lucha Bros, right?
Yes. Because yeah lah. Yeah, you go ahead.
Yeah. Well, they seem to work lah. Because for me, I don't really enjoy watching best friends wrestle.
Yeah.
But when it seems to be this kind of brawl kind of situation, they seem more interesting. I do not know why.
Because what's his face can't do it well. Which member? The not jacked one, the other guy.
Oh, the other guy, the one that looks like he's trying to be a $2 version of Bradshaw. Because with the fucking rings on the head.
$2 version, I like that. $2 version of Bradshaw.
Chuck Taylor,
yeah. Like, oh, Chuck Taylor does not have it.
Yeah. But very interesting. Apparently Orange Cassidy now comes up to the Pixies theme song.
Oh.
As his entrance.
Okay.
You know the song Where Is My Mind?
No, not really. I didn't pay attention.
Where is my mind? Well, if you listen to 80s song, you will know who the Pixies are.
Right.
Yeah, but it fits Orange Cassidy like how CM Punk's cut of personality fits CM Punk. So it's very interesting. So I kind of got a refreshing of the character.
Bro, like when they come out for their entrances, usually like in WWE, I will stay for the entrances because it's exciting and like something to watch. I don't know, AEW, whenever they do their entrances, I go take a shit or I pee or I do something else.
It's definitely to do with the presentation of like the whole set as a whole though. Because they are so close to the ring, there's not much thing to do for an entrance anyway.
True.
But for the match itself, I really like the appearance and the return of the two people that was involved in the match.
Oh, right. So, okay, first of all, Tovakin says the real winner of Arcade Anarchy was Sue.
The mom.
Yes, the return of, first of all, popping out in the UFO machine, very fittingly. I think that's a cute Easter egg lah. Statlander, the alien.
Yeah, Statlander and Penelope Cruz, I didn't know they had a thing or they were fighting.
Penelope fought lah.
Penelope Cruz.
The actress become wrestler all, huh?
Yeah, sorry, I was thinking of some other girls. Well, Penelope Ford and Chris Statlander, I believe, so I did a bit of digging, then I realized that actually Penelope Ford was the thing that was the person that injured Chris Statlander.
Yes, so there is precedence to this, there is a point to this, so that was great. And then, of course, oh my god, what's that guy's name?
Trent.
Trent Beretta, or just Trent, I guess.
Yes, trend in AEW, just see.
Came in with his mom, and he looks great, by the way.
Trent looks like a wrestler, shredded,
Yes. Yeah.
AF. And the mom is very. You know what? The mom thing is really cute, lah, bro. I
Okay.
cannot deny that, lah.
Sure. Okay, the match as a whole, I think we've talked too much, a little bit too much already. We need to get to our NXT review. A
Yes,
preview.
correct. Well, we'll finish it up by saying that I think Miro is done with this whole thing, man. I
Yeah.
hope so.
I hope he moves on, and I hope he becomes a killer heel. He needs to just like move on from this like best man nonsense. And like the thing is, he left WWE like one shit gimmick to come in here, and like you assume he's gonna be awesome and like be this destroyer heel.
Yeah.
But like this gimmick is not any better than what he did at WWE.
But Miro has all the tools right now. Like he's
Yeah.
the best he ever looked.
Yeah.
Physically,
Yeah.
shredded. Yes, his ring gear is great. He looks like those kind of like Street Fighter.
Hey.
I thought Gengi.
What?
There's this one guy. I do not know. The people in the chat will probably know. There's this one guy. He looks exactly like him in Street Fighter. Zangief.
Zangief? Really?
You know who I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, the Russian guy who does wrestling moves.
Rusev. There you go.
You know what? I want Rusev to be back in WWE as part of the Hurt Business. How about that?
Oh. Well, he will never go back to WWE.
Yeah. Yeah, he definitely needs to challenge for a title. Oh, okay. Oh my god, I don't want to bring up another AEW thing because we'll just go on a straight tangent. But this whole Brian Cage team tears nonsense, it's so fake. I mean, not that wrestling is real, but never mind. Let's just move
Mr.
on.
Young. When Mr. Young is out of words, right? You know that he's just disappointed. He's not even angry anymore. He's just disappointed.
Yeah, I'm done. All right, let's move on to WWE. By the way, this year's Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal will take place on SmackDown. Not this week, but next week. Before
it's
WrestleMania.
happening.
Yeah, but on SmackDown, huh? So
That's how bad it's gone down.
at least Tozawa, Angel Gaza, Cedric Alexander, Drew Gulak. Why does it say on the thing here, Eric Elias? Is that his real first name?
Eric?
It says, like, WWE.com announced the following participants: Cedric Alexander, Drew Gulak, Elias, Eric. What?
No, I've
What?
never heard of this. This
What
is my
did-
first time hearing of this.
Okay, this must be a typo. What is this?
Yeah.
Okay,
this is
anyway. Grand Metalik, Humberto Carrillo, who apparently is still around, Jackson Riker, Jey Uso. Oh, lama, Jey Uso. Poor thing.
Jey Uso,
Is
after
it-
his main event run,
He's in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. I hope he's on WrestleMania. He's probably going to be by Roman Reigns' side. lah.
maybe.
Kalisto, King Baron Corbin. So I guess he's not going to be at Lashley's side. Lindsay Dorado, Mace, Murphy.
Really?
Oh, hold on. I think they forgot to hit enter. So Eric, as in the Viking Warriors, Eric.
Eric. Okay.
Yeah, okay. I said because it says here Mace, Murphy. I'm like, what? No, it's Mace and Murphy.
Okay, that makes sense.
Mustafa Ali.
Poor guy.
Yeah, Ricochet, Shelton Benjamin, Shinsuke Nakamura.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah, Slapjack, T-Bar, Tucker. Oh, Tucker is still around?
He's alive? Wait, if he's dead, then where's Otis?
Otis busy hanging out with Chad Gable. Probably will be in a tag team match for
They'll probably get a match.
Yeah.
Well, this is just the glorified participation battle royal. Let's just admit. Just see it for what it is, right?
Oh yeah, right. Okay. Shit. So many things to cover before we actually get there. RVD Hall of Fame. Yes. No.
Yes. Of course. Yes. Come
Okay.
on.
Yeah.
RVD.
There you go. And William Shatner as well for the celebrity wing.
You know what? This year's Hall of Fame is actually a pretty good class.
Very good. Yeah.
The only comment I would say is that it's so weird because I'm so used to like the Hall of Famers being people from the 80s, early 90s. Now we've moved to the ruthless aggression era.
Bro, we old, bro. That's what it is. We old,
man.
Okay, you know what needs to happen though? RVD needs to show up on Raw and have an interaction with Riddle. And just they both just stare at each other. What are we supposed to say? I don't know. Look at they need some stoner moment. I would actually cheer that shit.
You know, I would pop if that happens in WrestleMania. Okay, this is what I really hope.
Yes.
Like literally Riddle with his scooter coming after that bump into RVD. They just look at each other. He's like, bro. They was like, bro.
Yeah, exactly. They just need that moment. Dude, it's perfect. Like, and in a way, it's RVD passing the torch over to Riddle as the resident stoner.
It's perfect. It's perfect.
Okay, let's get to what we're supposed to talk about now. My God, it's been like
1 hour later.
yeah, 1 hour later, right? NXT Stand and Deliver. Here we go. Night 1, okay, which happens on Wednesday, which is our Thursday night. Thursday morning, sorry, yes. Kushida versus Pete Dunne.
Oh, yes.
Why? Why are they fighting? I don't know why I missed this.
Okay, well, Pete Dunne has been going around saying that he's like the best technical wrestler in NXT, right? So I think it's more of like an open challenge kind of deal.
Okay.
And also Kushida has been having a few interactions with I don't know what's the stable called. The Pete Dunne. No,
Pete Dunne. Oh.
Pete Dunne and Danny Burch and Oni Loken.
One of them is injured. That's why they had to vacate the tag titles as well.
Correct,
and then McAfee's never around. So technically he got no stable lah. He's just by himself.
I forgot what they call themselves, Kings of NXT or some shit. I don't know lah. But Kushida has been having a few interruptions with them. So maybe he answered the call saying that he's also a great technical wrestler. It's gonna be a great match.
I think that. Yeah, it's one of those matches that like you don't really need a storyline. You know it's gonna be good.
He's just gonna go.
Yeah, let's go. Gauntlet Eliminator for an opportunity at the NXT North American title on night 2. Here we go. Swerve, Leon Ruff, Bronson Reed, Cameron Grimes, Dexter Lumis, LA Knight.
Yes. Well, obviously this past week on NXT, LA Knight won the Battle Royal. So there's definitely an argument for him being a favorite to win. Not my personal favorite to win though.
Oh, who is your personal favorite to win?
Wait, you tell me yours first.
Dexter.
Dexter, right?
Yeah, it has to be what. I mean, they're building this whole feud between The Way and Dexter Lumis.
Yeah. So there's 2 ways he's gonna go, which I feel is after what happened on NXT, I feel very intrigued that if he goes this way, it's kind of cool. Dexter would have been one of it. But imagine if Austin Theory won.
Oh.
And then they really did the finger poke of doom.
Right. No, but Austin Theory is out, isn't he?
He is. Is he out?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he was
eliminated already.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay,
so he's not.
Bad,
yeah, Austin Theory is not in at all. Yeah, I thought the whole finger poke of doom thing was funny when they did the backstage promo. One of the other guys that I really really like in this group is Cameron Grimes. You saw his whole thing with Roderick Strong and how he's trying to buy the rights of Undisputed Era.
Yeah, that was so funny. That was so meta, bro.
Yeah, and I thought that whole segment was funny because like he's not ripping off the $1 Million Man. He's like a shit hillbilly version of $1 Million Man. He's trying to do $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase stuff but failing miserably.
He's the most random combination of wrestlers ever. He's basically $1 Million Man plus Jamie Noble.
Yeah, I love it though. So I feel like there's so much that they could do with Cameron Grimes. And then on the flip side, Roddy, who's now his own guy, comes out with the most bland trunks and bland jacket, and he looks so bland without UE Undisputed Era.
Which is weird because I always thought Roderick Strong was gonna be the breakout star in before Kyle O'Reilly. I really thought Roderick was like the guy because he had the looks. He has the Johnny Cage looks. But he
really?
Can wrestle.
No, I always thought he was bland, and now without the UE, he looks even more bland.
Before he went into the UE, he was known by this nickname, right? The Messiah of the Backbreaker.
That's a terrible gimmick. It's not a gimmick.
Well, I would say it's a gimmick, but I guess that's the only thing that made him stand out that I remembered. Like he's good at all these different variations of the backbreakers. So I don't know whether he's gonna come back to that, but he is like Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin. He needs UE more than UE needs him.
Yep. He right now. So at the end of NXT, he like left and he says he quits and what? So he's probably gonna take a break and then come back at some point lah. Maybe. Hopefully repackaged. Next up, NXT Tag Team Championship triple threat match. This is gonna be fun. MSK versus Grizzled Young Veterans versus Legado del Fantasma.
Remember I mentioned the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team titles classic. I wanted like between MSK and Grizzled Young Veterans. I thought Grizzled Young Veterans should have won. So like this seems like their redemption in this sense because I think this should be the time that they win the title back.
Okay. Does Legado del Fantasma have any sort of a chance at all?
No chance in hell.
No chance. Yeah, I know. They're just two Escobar's lackeys, and that's about it.
Yeah, they're just there.
Grizzled Young Veterans MSK. Who's winning?
My money is a Grizzled Young Veterans.
You think so?
I know MSK is like up and coming, got more hype, but I just feel it's unfair that Grizzled doesn't get the title before them.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. If they want to pop the crowd, I feel like MSK is the pick here.
Okay. Hey, we didn't pick between Kushida and Pete Dunne.
I think we all win when they fight. That's it. I mean, whether who wins this, to me, it doesn't matter at all.
Okay, but I personally want Pete Dunne because I just realized that Pete Dunne before this, the previous pay-per-view, he was in the main event. So this is now he's in the opening match. So I hope it's kind of a step down,
No, well, the whole point is if you're in the opening match to set the tone, right? So you know that they're gonna go. So don't have to worry about that. Let's move on. Walter versus Tommaso Ciampa, NXT UK Championship. On the face of it, I don't even need to give me a reason for them to fight. I want to see them fight.
It's gonna be awesome. Yeah, I do have one small gripe.
What?
Can Ciampa just shave his head again? He looks so weird with this half hair. Oh my god!
Because he has that receding hairline, like he's bald on the top, right? Yeah. He looks so weird. I know. I'm like, what is he doing?
He literally just aged 50 years, though.
Yeah, exactly. Is he trying to make himself look old? Because he looked badass with the bald head and the big beard, right?
He looks so good. Look, it's perfect.
And then I don't know why he just started growing out his top hair, and there's a huge hole, and makes him look so old.
It makes me want to see him lose. He doesn't deserve to win with that look.
But okay, is there any chance that Tommaso Ciampa wins this? And I don't know, what is he gonna go to the UK to defend it? No, right?
Nah, I think they just needed an excuse for Walter to have like a worthy challenger.
Yeah,
it's gonna be an awesome match, man, for sure.
Yeah. So
and the thing about Walter is I do not want him to leave NXT UK. Like I really feel that this is his kingdom,
But here's the thing: he's dominated that kingdom for such a long time. Maybe it's time for him to, drop the title, let Tommaso Ciampa go over there and reign for a bit. Because let's face it, right now Ciampa is sort of nowhere in NXT, right? He's like hanging out with Timothy Thatcher, but then that's not really a thing. So maybe if Tommaso Ciampa goes over to NXT UK and builds or helps train the talent there and gives the rub to people, more people will watch that. So actually, I do see a potential where Ciampa wins, brings the title over, and then he stays in the UK for half a year, 3 months, 4 months.
I mean, that's not a bad theory, man. I mean, that is a great, interesting timeline.
Yeah.
The thing about Walter is that his reign has been so dominant.
Yeah.
I feel like unless he's someone who's really, really worthy, like I don't see a need for him to drop this title. Like it's like the anti-Brock Lesnar. Like I don't mind Walter holding it for years and years and years.
True.
The only time that someone should upset him is like someone from within the UK becomes a star and like upsets the king.
Is there anybody in NXT UK that fits the bill right now?
Currently?
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, exactly. I mean, the title is just a name, right? You don't have to be from the UK to win it.
Yeah, that's true. But in terms of European talent, I think there's a lot of undiscovered talent there that might be getting a rub.
Yeah.
What's his name? Ilya Dragunov, is it?
Ilya Dragunov, but
he's small.
He's way too small. Unless it's some sort of upset fluke win, Tovakin mentions that he thinks that this Walter versus Ciampa thing might build towards a storyline with Thatcher. Like what? Thatcher causes Ciampa to lose and then they feud again?
Or maybe Walter takes out Ciampa and Thatcher is the one that becomes the guy that takes and wins the title. Because he's a younger guy, right?
But they both look old, bro.
Fuck lah, yeah. Thatcher looks fucking old, but I know for a fact that he's the younger guy in this group.
Whole storyline began with Thatcher being recruited to join Imperium. I see what you mean. I see where you're going with that, Tovakin. Okay, maybe Thatcher joins Imperium, and he fits the whole vibe of the group, right?
Because he's a catch as catch can type of wrestler.
Yeah, Matt is sacred, all that jazz. So why not? Dominant faction. I mean, since the UE is out of the picture, it's time for Imperium to shine. All right. Let's have Walter stay and they can run roughshod finally over NXT. Let's move on. Night 1's main event is Io Shirai versus Raquel Gonzalez for the NXT Women's Championship. Basically, the question is it time for Io Shirai to move on?
Big Mommy Cool. I love that nickname, by the way.
Oh my god.
Big Mommy Cool. Raquel Gonzalez is really the surprise package of the NXT Women's division. I never expected her to be so dominant and come out looking so badass now. Like, when she was recruited, she was so-called the lackey of Dakota Kai, right?
Yeah.
And it's so weird that it's almost as if the tables has been turned. Dakota Kai is like the sidekick now.
Well, you see, that lends itself to another storyline. So let's say Raquel Gonzalez picks up the women's championship, and then you slowly see Dakota Kai like getting very salty about it because she was there first. She's the one who should be in line for a title, and then she somehow, turns on Raquel, and then Raquel becomes face de facto face. So I think it works on many levels for Raquel Gonzalez to pick up the title here. Io Shirai, her title run has been pretty dominant, but also she hasn't done much with the title now. She has the name. She doesn't need the title anymore. I feel like it's time for her to pass this prop that is the Women's Championship over to Raquel Gonzalez so that she can have that whole program with Dakota Kai. And somewhere down the line, Dakota Kai can cost Raquel Gonzalez the title, and she can finally have her, her shine.
Io has held the title since last year's Great American Bash, right?
Yeah.
So it's almost 10 months, going on almost a year already. So
damn long, yeah.
The thing is, she's suffering from the Asuka situation, where there's not really a lot of so-called worthy or like on her level kind of competitors, and that's why it seems like a forgettable title reign.
Yeah.
Raquel is probably the first one to step up that I felt like, wow, okay, she might give her a run for her money. And Raquel comes from a different breed of women. She's like from the China breed, Beth Phoenix, dominant, big, strong.
Yep.
I think she'll make a great standard bearer for NXT's women division going forward. And whether Io is ready for the main event scene on the main roster show, I do not know. I think not.
Oh, really?
Not because she's not ready. I just feel there's nowhere to fit her in the picture right now that will do her service.
Bro, Kabuki Warriors 2.
Unless 1 year from now, bro, main event of Raw division is Riya Ripley versus Io Shirai.
Hey, they've had the history. I think that makes sense. Or who doesn't want to see Io Shirai versus Asuka at some point?
Io Shirai versus Charlotte, one-on-one?
Look, I feel like it is time lah. Io has done all she can do in NXT, There's nothing left for her to do. If she stays, I think it does her a disservice. So she at some point needs to move on to Raw or SmackDown and have a decent run there.
Yeah, I mean, obviously everyone wants to see the Asuka versus Io Shirai feud.
Or even on SmackDown, Io versus Bianca Belair,
which she has history with.
Yes.
And obviously Sasha Banks also is a big fan of Io Shirai. I mean, wherever she goes, the matches will be guaranteed to rock,
As long as they don't, and that's a big if lah, they don't botch her in the main event, which main roster.
Scared.
Yeah, which they invariably will. We don't have the,
To me, right, keep her talking Japanese.
Yeah. Don't have her pull an Asuka.
Yeah. I mean,
More like
Give
the
a
main roster
translator
isn't ready for women's talent. That's what Div Royalty says. Yeah, exactly. The main roster really doesn't know what to do with it. Even though, like, on Raw, they have 3 hours. There technically should be time to give everybody a bit of a shine. And
I think ever since Becky left the scene, it's taken a back seat. For some reason, they don't really push Asuka. Like, they just know that she's there, she's a champion, and they just leave it at that. Like, they never give her stories.
Yeah. They don't know what to do with her, which is a crime.
Yeah. And it's a very funny thing because Andrade recently did an interview, a tell-all interview on why he left. And he brought up this very interesting comment. He said that he thought the reason he was not getting pushed was because his English is not there yet. But then again, he said, but Asuka's English is not there, but she's still getting matches.
Yeah.
So he's comparing, he's saying that Asuka's lack of English ability doesn't hinder her push. But I don't think it really puts her to the top. Because I don't think WWE's brass will put a non-English speaking person as their champion or like their main focus on their storylines.
Yeah, even though, I mean, historically, I don't know, does she sell a lot of merch?
I do not know.
She consistently, before COVID, got huge pop, so I don't know if it's...
Asuka, I think her appeal to the fans is just a respect thing. Like, we know she's a great wrestler and that's it. But she can't... What WWE does really, really well, of course, is tell all these great stories. And like for the main event scene, like if you want to be the main focus on WrestleMania, for example, you need to be able to hold your end of the stick on telling a story. And I think Asuka will forever be handicapped by her lack of, oral ability.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, is what kind of story or how you tell these stories, right? So it's really up to WWE lah. At the end of the day, the writers to come up with something that will feature her, use her, give her a manager, give her subtitles. It's doable. It's just whether you want to put in the effort into doing it or
that's
not.
true.
Okay, that's night 1. We've talked about Stand and Deliver. Night 2 of Stand and Deliver, we have a ladder. Okay, I love the setup for this, by the way. Santos Escobar versus Jordan Devlin. They are both the NXT Cruiserweight champions, because remember, Jordan Devlin went back to the UK and then he couldn't travel back because of COVID-19. And then on last week's NXT, actually, as they were facing off and everything, Shawn Michaels comes out, throws a ladder into the ring. I was like,
Perfect.
yes.
Just
Because,
perfect,
okay, just a bit of history, and I think most of you know this, but Shawn Michaels versus Razor Ramon at WrestleMania was a ladder match. They were both the Intercontinental Champion.
Yeah.
So there is like a parallel between that match and of course Shawn Michaels being like, you know, backstage at NXT. It was perfect for him to do this. To
It's
come
like
out.
a passing of the legacy moment.
Yeah, I loved it.
Almost.
I was like, oh my God, I see exactly what, as a fan of that era, I'm like, I see what you're doing. I hear you. I am there for this. And okay, this low-key might be the match stealer, you know?
Yeah, and it's so interesting, right?
I mean,
Because
the card stealer, yeah.
when it was just Devlin and Escobar, it was intriguing, but it was lacking that one spark.
Yeah.
But then because I remember watching that episode live, and then when Shawn Michaels' music came in, I was like, what's Shawn Michaels doing here? What's the link?
Yeah.
It
And
only
then,
took me like maybe another 5 more seconds when he pulled out the ladder. I was like,
it's
then
like
it just made the match 100 times more interesting.
it's like he used his history, his lore, he lent them his lore and history, and like, this is what you have to live up to. Just go. And I'm like, oh shit. And we all know that Jordan Devlin it can go as a high flyer. We all know that Santos Escobar can go. So it's like, shit, I don't even need, like, you don't even need to give me too much history. I just want to watch this match now.
Yeah, and bro, can we agree that this is like the most highly anticipated cruiserweight match in NXT/WWE history?
And it wasn't even like a long-standing feud. It's like, okay, there's a bit of history with the whole, you know, cruiserweight title bullshit and everything.
Yeah.
But Shawn Michaels just doing that one action made this match must-watch.
Incredible, huh? Like literally, this is a very simple type of booking that NXT seems to do really, really well. They give you a reason to want to watch a match, even though you've never watched the match or you don't know anything about the history. Just one thing, one spark, and it's good enough.
Yeah. I mean, the fact that Shawn Michaels is there and he was part of that, you know, match with Razor Ramon, it helps lah. Like, if Shawn Michaels doesn't work for WWE for whatever reason, then they couldn't pull it off.
Yeah.
Right? If Regal came out with a ladder, threw it in there, it wouldn't have the same impact. You know?
Well, they're lucky to have Shawn Michaels in NXT now, I guess.
Very, very lucky. Moving on, Shotzi Blackheart and Ember Moon versus The Way for the NXT Women's Tag Team Championships.
Wait, before that, doesn't matter, right? Santos Escobar, Devlin, your money is on anyone?
I don't care. I really don't. I think they're just going to tear the house down. Whoever wins. I love it
when a match is like, you can't really tell who's gonna win, but you just know either way you're gonna be happy.
Yeah. I just want to watch the match. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
maybe moving forward, it should be Santos Escobar because he has the most momentum. Like, I don't know if Jordan Devlin is gonna stay in the US.
Yeah, that's true. And Devlin is a bit he's not really that exposed yet, so I haven't really found a reason to get behind his story other than the fact he's the first NXT Cruiserweight Champion.
Yeah. Shotzi, Ember Moon versus The Way. This is the least, like, for whatever reason, I cannot get behind Candice and Indy.
Indy Hartwell.
Yeah, they're like,
I think it's because they don't really have chemistry with each other.
Yeah.
Obviously they know that Candice Larae is trying to put her rub on Indy Hartwell, trying to build her as a star. She really seems like the apprentice. Like, there's no potential for her to break out at this point in time.
But
Still
then
too
again,
new.
okay, this is it's like a Cody moment. I don't think Candice LeRae herself has established her, you know, main event level. To me, Candice LeRae so far in the NXT world has been upper mid card at best in the women's division.
She's never had the NXT women title run.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're right. She haven't had that run as the girl, as the woman.
Okay, you know who she is like? She's like a Natalia. Like, the respect is there. But in terms of being a star, she's never hit that level before.
Interesting.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you brought a great point though. And maybe that's the reason why The Way is just at that level. Like, The Way is not a main event faction. Yeah. They seem to be very mid-card.
Yeah. And meanwhile, Shotzi and Ember as well as a team, what do you... I love their energy. Obviously, we don't even need to talk about their in-ring like capabilities. Everyone on the NXT card can go.
Yeah.
So, but as a a team as an idea? Do you enjoy what they do?
Okay, well, obviously we have to talk about the NXT Women's Tag Team title and the relevance of it. I never saw, but like when they created that title, I was thinking like, why?
Yeah.
Why can't you just make the Women's Tag Team title part of? It's open to all rosters, what, right?
Yeah.
So like for them to be gifted that title initially, well, it's not them, the Raquel and Dakota Kai, right? Got the title initially, and then they won on the same night itself. It really devalued the title in my eyes.
Yeah. Yep. They didn't give the initial champions the dominant reign that they should have had.
Yeah.
But I get it because they needed to move on for Raquel to face Io Shirai.
Correct. Well, the one that suffers is the titles itself, the prestige of the title. So for me, Shotzi and Ember, they are like the New Day, or they are like the Street Profits. Okay, I can see them why they are the tag team champions, but they're not the reason why I want to watch the tag team division.
Right.
They're just they are good and that's it lah. Like they are not a draw. Maybe that's the best way I can say.
I almost feel like these NXT Women's Tag Team Championships, they were created to pull a moment, like pop a moment. And then beyond it, it's like, okay, what are we going to do with it? Because, okay, you got three teams, right? You got The Way, Shotzi and Ember, and you got Raquel Gonzalez and Dakota Kai. Who else?
After that, there's no one else unless they start to build or make teams.
Katie Catanzaro and her friend, I forgot her name.
Katie and Casey.
Casey and Katie.
Yeah,
no, Casey Catanzaro and you know what I mean though, right?
Yeah, the girl with the predator hair lah.
Yeah. So, but they are doing their thing with Tian Sha. Or
you just said the next tag team, Tian Sha.
There you go.
There's gonna be a debut of that weird ass woman. I do not know who's under the mask. But she's gonna be a wrestler, right?
When though? When?
No, they said she's gonna do it. I think this coming. I don't know whether it's. No, they didn't say this past week.
No. I don't think they didn't even show up. Or were they like? Wasn't there a rumor where a bunch of them got COVID or tested for COVID?
Well, what happened on NXT this past week was the KT, right? Yeah. They tried to confront the Tiansha lady, what? They tried to walk up to her, but then they got beaten up by Xia Li.
Yeah.
So I think that might be the story going forward out of Stand and Deliver. Like that might still unfold a bit more.
I think, you know what it is? They are not ready for a pay-per-view. Yeah. That's why they've been contained to just, NXT itself, which is fine. Yeah, I don't think Xia Li, to be honest, Xia Li is not ready for like a pay-per-view. Her in-ring skill just has not impressed.
She gotten a lot of help with this gimmick. Like, this gimmick really reinvented her.
Kaden Carter, there you go. Yes, it reinvented her because it made her like an Undertaker or where you only need to do 3-4 moves and that's it.
Yeah.
And not have a proper match. But when she's had long proper matches, they just don't work. So what, are you gonna have squash matches all the way now? Cannot what?
So that's why I said like at the end of the day, even though the NXT women's division is the deepest among all the rosters, not all of them have compelling stories. They're trying to.
Yeah.
Like I think Xia Li is technically an undercut in the women's division in NXT.
Yeah.
But at least it's compelling. So they just have to keep building all these characters.
Yeah.
Like there's this one girl that I really want to see succeed because she's always been the jobber in NXT. What's her name? The one that always hangs out with the Robert Stone brand.
Aaliyah?
Aaliyah.
Oh yeah, but Aaliyah is not ready as well.
Yeah, she's like forever stuck at that purgatory,
Yeah, she needs time to build the skills as well. Karen Q is Mei Ying, by the way. So yeah, Mei Ying and Xia Li, if Mei Ying is good in the ring, she can hold up the end of the
Who is
wrestling.
This Mei Ying as like a wrestler? Like, has she wrestled before in other places or what?
I don't know. I assume so, yes.
Because she's really badass in the way they are portraying her, so she better deliver, man. Stand up and deliver, bro.
But it's going to be, they have to do squash matches, right? You just look at her. Can you imagine if she has to go in and put on a 20-minute classic? No, it has to be like a Fiend, like an Undertaker. She goes in, like people try to beat her, she shrugs it off. That kind of
let's just say for me, like in spite of the in-ring comments about their abilities, I find them compelling TV. Like when they come on the screen, I'm like, okay, I want to see what's gonna happen.
Yeah. So they are a classic example of wrestlers who need overly outrageous gimmick to mask the fact that they can't go in the ring. You know what I mean?
Interesting.
But yeah, that looks like what could be next for the tag team division in NXT for the women. I feel like Shotzi and Ember, they retain, because the way, I don't think they, like, them winning the titles would do literally nothing for the titles.
They will lose their way as a champion,
Yeah,
I think.
so Shotzi and Ember, they retain the title, and then they move on to feud with Raquel and Dakota Kai. And that's where you start putting in your dissension between Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez.
Yeah. Well, there's more props to play around with, like in the women's division, I think, with the titles. And I think that's the only positive.
Well, like I said, I don't think anyone else in that division is ready for a title like that. So the four you have right now, Shotzi, Ember, Raquel, and Dakota Kai, they should go and have a big feud. Like, imagine Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez become champions as well, tag team champions. So Raquel will have a double championship, give her a massive dominant run, and then at some point she will lose the tag team titles, and then Dakota Kai can turn.
Yeah. I think at the end of the day, the NXT needs to remember that they are there to build stars, and they can take as long as they want with some of the talent. Like, they don't have to hotshot them into prominent pictures. That's why I really like the pacing in terms of the booking when it comes to NXT.
Irvin says, by the way, Karen Q did wrestle at the 2018 Mae Young Classic. Hey, shit, we need to go back and watch that now.
Ooh, some nice hidden gems. Okay, for sure. We'll definitely check it out.
Yeah, okay. Moving on, Johnny Gargano versus Night 1 of the Gauntlet Eliminator for the NXT North American Championship. Do you think it's time for Johnny to drop this to Cameron Grimes? Dexter Lumis? Yeah, I think it's time.
I think it's time, because I think Dexter is one of those characters that you just can't help but love, man. Like, he's perfect in his role. And I think he needs to show his dominance. I think it's time for his dominance to be validated, because he's always been booked as a dominant performer.
Yeah.
But there's nothing to show for it.
Yeah. And
so this should be the way.
Yeah. The way. No, is Johnny Gargano's the way?
Yeah, indeed.
Okay, moving on. This another match that has the potential to steal the show. Kyle O'Reilly versus Adam Cole, unsanctioned match.
I think Adam Cole want to one up the girlfriend.
Oh yeah, that's right. Actually, yeah, that sounds like it, right? So they've obviously built this for quite a while. Undisputed Era blowing up. They're gonna fight it out. This is the blow off lah. So is Kyle O'Reilly winning?
Kyle O'Reilly has to win to establish him as like his equal, because obviously now everyone still see Adam Cole as the leader of UE, right? Even though yes, Kyle O'Reilly has had an interesting run contending for the titles a couple of times. Now we are starting to see him in a different light, like he can be his own man. But they just need to. Do you watch this past week's NXT where they had a very great Prime Target promo?
Yes, of course.
About their stories. I thought that was really, really. It felt like a Bourne Identity kind of cinematography for some reason.
Right.
It's like the dark, in the interrogation room, very well built lah. Like, it gave me a lot of context to their story, which I didn't get beforehand.
Yep.
And you know what made me so angry when I was thinking about this? Like, how great it's being presented.
What?
Like, why can't they do the same vignettes for all the main roster rivalries for WrestleMania? Fuck. They literally could have said, they can just have a sit-down interview with Bobby Lashley, Drew McIntyre, talk about their history. Sasha Banks, Bianca Belair talk about their history. Like,
maybe there's next week on Raw and SmackDown.
Just a whole episode full of like vignettes.
Differalty says, please no Pat McAfee interference. These two just need to beat the shit out of each other, and it's gonna be brutal, probably bloody as well. If if any match deserves like a blade, this freaking match does. And to be honest, I kind of can see if this lasted over Stand and Deliver, because they previously haven't had a proper match, right? They've just gotten in each other's faces. So this is
so
technically
no rivalry
so technically this is their first match, like. So I'm like, does this have legs to last even longer?
It could be the rivalry that carries NXT throughout the summer. Yeah,
like without a title involved as well. So this kind of seems like a Gargano Ciampa thing.
It's a blood feud lah. It's basically Triple H versus Shawn Michaels. There's a lot of reminiscence of this, and also I think Adam Cole, I don't know whether he wants to go to the main roster.
Oh no! Do not let him go to the main roster. He's too small. They will just put him in some bullshit, and he'll slide right down the card. Like, if there's any guy in this list that we've talked about who shouldn't go to the main roster, it's freaking Adam Cole. Okay, he's small, skinny, and he's not jacked. Like
he is. I get what you mean, bro. Like honestly, right?
Yeah.
You don't really see it because in NXT everyone's kind of like smaller size.
Yeah.
But he has the same physique as X-Pac.
Yeah, if he was brought like next to Bobby Lashley, next to freaking
Drew McIntyre,
he would look like such a boy. And here's the thing, he's not like I mean, obviously, you know what I mean, right? Like his personality definitely stands out, but it's like even next to Mustafa Ali, he's shorter than Mustafa Ali.
Didn't he had a match with Keith Lee, right? Adam Cole.
Yeah.
And even he looked really, really small with Keith Lee, but I think he still held his own. He didn't look like he was oversized.
Yeah, but this is NXT. NXT will allow them these opportunities. You know, in WWE, in Raw and SmackDown, there's no way he's gonna shine. He's gonna go there and get swallowed by the giants.
Yeah. My only issue with Adam Cole is I think he has done everything that needs to be done in NXT. Like he literally he won a title a couple of times already. He really had a faction. He had a dominant run. What else is there for him to do? Did he win the North American title? I do not know. I
can't remember, yeah. But to go back to your point of what is he going to do now? He's going to put over talent. He's going to put over Kyle O'Reilly. You see, here's the thing, and this is the difference between freaking Cody jerking off around on AEW, thinking that he can put people over. Adam Cole established himself as a main guy. He was a champion. He had his own faction. People loved him. People hated him. He was up there. Right? And now it is his time to put other people over. It makes sense.
Okay, wait. So when they're gonna fight, right? Are they gonna come out to the UE theme song? Is this Adam Cole's theme song now? Is it like Roman Reigns? He took over the Shield's theme song?
Yeah, I think he should keep the theme song so he can still do the Adam Cole baby whatever shit. And but I hope they give Kyle O'Reilly a cool entrance. Like I hope it's not some generic rock music. Because to be honest, he's wearing like this denim vest thing. He looks quite generic.
Kyle hasn't had a theme song yet, right? His own theme song.
No.
It's always been UE, right?
Yeah, so it will be interesting to see unless they start the match backstage and nobody has a theme song.
My problem with Kyle, right? My only problem with Kyle is, like you said, he's like literally generic wrestler A.
Yep.
You know, and because he's like not even 10, he's like very pale. So doesn't look like a star.
Yeah, the problem is him. Actually, the rest of the UE are like that as well. Also, where is Bobby Fish? Will he make a return here?
Bro, Bobby Fish, right, is forever on the injury list, bro. Fucking injured all the way.
His whole faction exploded. He's still at home. Like, oh, shit.
Yeah. Hey, you know he is the oldest among the four of them?
Yeah, he looks it. Makes sense.
He's like in his early 40s, you know. So, like, I think he's definitely not going to be the breakout star of Undisputed Era. No. Let's just agree.
Okay, so I think we can agree that this will be a really, really brutal match. It'll be a great match. To be honest, I can see this going either way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Either way, I'm happy actually.
Yeah.
There's a slight chance that I want Kyle O'Reilly to win for sure.
Yeah. Ken, let's move on then. NXT Championship, Finn Balor versus Karrion Kross and Scarlett. What did you think of the Karrion Kross promo this week where he's like all of a sudden Mr. MMA? Okay.
Okay, what do you want to say?
We both have thoughts on this. Okay, Karrion Kross, what about Fall and Pray? So there was like I don't know, the previous Karrion Kross had like a more sinister, more, dare I say, supernatural vibe. Doomsday
kind of,
thing. Yeah. Like this incarnation, apparently they've moved away from it and like, oh, he's just a badass MMA guy. He's doing judo. He's doing karate. What is he? What's that guy's name? Black belt. Black belt.
Ataro Ruas. What the fuck happened to him? Black belt.
Black belt. Like, okay, go.
My issue is, why did they have to take out that supernatural thing, that sinister TikTok prophetic kind of shit? That was the thing that made him interesting.
Yeah.
That was literally the thing that defined him and made him into a threat when he first came into NXT.
Yes.
To move away from that, like, is as if Bobby Lashley is moving away from becoming the dominant hurt business CEO.
Like
you lose 50% of his appeal.
Yeah. His promo on NXT made me want him not to win. Made me root for Finn Balor more. Like, I'm like, what is this MMA guy? And I'm sorry, but he looks like a generic MMA guy. He doesn't look like anything special. He's not like I don't know. Maybe I'm just judging it too harsh.
And is it weird? Like, do you realize that Scarlett is like also not doing all that prophetic, like weird
Yes.
riddles kind of promo kind of shit?
She's now the hot girlfriend.
But we already have Penelope Ford for that. Like, why do you have to go down that route? You know?
I don't know what is going on. Maybe he wasn't comfortable with the whole Doomsday Supernatural thing to begin with, and then now
it can't be because I know him, but I watched his interview with CVV and all that, and he literally said that he is inspired by cinema and he loves like films, and a lot of his character he actually put that into his character. So I know that initial character is really all him.
Yeah, like I don't know about you and chat. If you agree, let us know. But this current incarnation of Karrion Kross is kind of boring.
Okay, even if Karrion Kross had his previous gimmick, I still want Finn Balor to win.
Okay,
because here's the story, right? The story is Finn Balor and Karrion Kross have this thing in common where they both got injured right after they won the title. They had to vacate it.
Yeah.
So there's that running thread. I agree. It's very, very unfortunate that Karrion Kross lost his title because he was such a dominant guy right after his debut, won it against Keith Lee, who is a big rub, and he didn't get to enjoy that run.
Yep.
And Finn Balor wasn't always part of the plan. He was always supposedly a short-term champion. Until Karrion Kross come back and he was supposed to put over Karrion Kross.
Yeah.
But what Finn Balor has done since he came back to NXT is he has completely reinvented himself with this Prince character.
Yeah.
He became like 10-time level of badass. And from a short term, possibly just gonna be a forgettable champion, paper champ, he has become a dominant champ. I think Finn Balor is the standard bearer now of NXT.
Yes.
The thing about that is, I think all of that was by design to eventually put over Karrion Kross.
Yeah.
But now that Karrion Kross has come back, he has lost so much momentum that I feel if Karrion Kross is to be put over in this NXT card, I think it won't be a great moment. Like, it will be a missed moment.
Yeah, it'll be a disservice to the title and Finn Balor.
Finn Balor has done.
Yeah, I agree with you 100% on that. I'm just not feeling this version, this incarnation of Karrion Kross. And there's no more NXTs to build anything. It's literally happening next week. So yeah, for some strange reason, this main event is actually the least interesting match on this night too.
But of course, knowing them, they're still gonna tear the house down. So
yeah, for sure. Without a doubt. But like I said, storyline wise, it's like meh.
Between the two nights, which night are you looking forward to more?
Ooh.
But you should ask the chat about this as well.
Yeah, chat. Night 1, night 2. Which one are you like looking forward to more? To be honest, for me, I'm looking forward to night 2 just because of the ladder match, the unsanctioned match. Oh, but it's like, okay, they split it up quite well in that there are really key matches you want to watch on both nights.
Yeah, I mean, night 1, obviously, Io, Raquel, I'm really looking forward to that.
Walter Ciampa.
Pete Dunne and Kushida.
Yeah.
It's gonna be tough. I would say because I have my favorites, I would say night 1 for me.
Night 1, really? Okay, so it's interesting, right? Because night 1 is going to be on the USA Network as well as Peacock, whereas night 2 is only on Peacock. So you would assume that they want to put their best card on USA, right? Yes.
Or they want to create enough intrigue that people want to check out night 2, right?
Right.
That's why it makes sense for them to have like that Gauntlet Eliminator thing on the first episode, so they have a reason to tune in to night 2. Why I like night 1 is because I think it's the best mix of styles as compared to the second one. Like I get to see my super technical match, Pete Dunne. I get to see like my hard-hitting European style match with Walter and Ciampa. I get to see my main event caliber match, with Io and all that. The thing about night 2, maybe I'm not so looking forward to it is because it's less unpredictable.
Right. Well, I mean, you have your hardcore match, which is Kyle and Cole. You have your high-flying match, Escobar, Devlin. You have Finn Balor, Karrion Kross, probably very hard-hitting sort of main event style match. So I think we can all agree, and I think chat agrees as well. Cannot choose. You just have to watch both of them. There's not one that's better than the other. They both are designed to sort of, lead into each other.
very, very interesting because when we put up a poll on our Instagram for WrestleMania night 1 or night 2, everyone said night 2.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, I think NXT, the great thing about NXT is they have always delivered on their takeover shows.
Yes, that's right.
I've never really heard a NXT takeover show that is like terrible. Like they could be okay, but not terrible.
Yeah, like they set the bar so high. Sometimes I feel a bit worried. Like, can they deliver every single pay-per-view? But they usually do. So, look, next week is just going to be an exciting week for pro wrestling. So let's just, as fans, freaking enjoy it. Let's watch the hell out of Raw, NXT, Hall of Fame.
If you are a pro wrestling fan in 2021, you know that NXT is destination TV.
Yes.
And also, we got to mention the fact that they are going to move officially to Tuesdays.
Taking away the pressure of the Wednesday Night War, I guess. But if anything, too, okay, they're moving because of NHL, right? They're going to carry live hockey on the USA Network. But if anything, it takes the pressure away. So now they can just focus on doing good TV instead of trying to fight with AEW. And because they are the day before, you get your wrestling feel already. Like, there is such a thing as too much wrestling, I feel. And sometimes, if I've watched X amount of wrestling, it's like, okay lah, I can skip one thing. That's probably why I skim SmackDown a lot, because I've watched Raw, I've watched AEW, I've watched NXT. It's like, okay, I think I've had my fill of wrestling for the week.
Yeah. A lot of people ask me, hey, Van, why you like to binge watch on Netflix or Disney Plus and all that kind of stuff? I was like, bro, the only thing I watch is just wrestling. It's like literally Monday I got something to watch, Tuesday I got something to watch, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and that's not even counting all the YouTube series, all the network documentaries,
pay-per-views.
Yeah, so like for me, right, this move is going to do two things. I believe that we're going to see more ratings on AEW being over 1 million.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because if the audience from NXT is not watching NXT, right, people are still going to stay and watch AEW.
Okay,
so
sure.
They're not going to leave because of the show. They're going to leave because of this is their scheduling time, this is their free day. So if some people have already made Wednesday night for us, Thursday morning, their day to watch wrestling, and if AEW is the only thing that's available, I think I'll assume that they will, because now they're hitting 800,000, 700,000 and all that. Definitely, I think they will clear 1 million a bit more. But this also means that there might be a chance that NXT, we can see for sure whether NXT is a draw.
Yeah.
Are there going to be more people tuning into NXT now that it's unopposed? Is it going to hit 1 million as well?
Yeah. Whatever it is, I think it's good, so that if anything, like the whole Wednesday Night Wars wasn't really a thing anyway. You know, it's not like they were literally fighting segment for segment, like on Raw versus Nitro. It was,
we can agree that it was less a war, more like a beach fight lah.
Friendly competition. It was an exhibition match. Let's just leave it at that. Oh my god, we went through an entire podcast without mentioning Best Booker of 2020.
Bro, this is good. This is a good step, guys.
How can we move on from that? Oh my god. All right.
Less negativity, yeah.
Well, then again, we did shit on Cody, like, you know.
I think Cody took the brunt of like the angst this episode.
Yeah. We spent so much energy on Cody, we forgot to do Best Booker of 2020. But be that as it may, thank you guys so much for dropping by the chat. What's up, everybody? Once again, we appreciate it. And if you're listening to the podcast on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts right now, thank you for downloading as well. Hey, hit us up on our social media pages, okay? We got Facebook, Instagram, all kick to the gut. If you haven't subscribed to us on YouTube yet, please do.
Yeah, and also for the next couple of episodes, this is going to be our scheduling. We are definitely going to come and do a review of NXT Stand and Deliver on our usual time next week.
Yeah,
so
Friday.
We're going to watch the Wednesday and Thursday shows, right? Back to back.
Well, you mean Thursday and Friday?
Yes. So for why I mentioned that was because Friday morning will be the night 2 of NXT.
Yes.
So technically, we're gonna come in live right after NXT finishes.
Yes, that's right. We'll talk about it. We'll cover NXT Night 2, Night 1, plus preview WrestleMania as well. And then on the Monday of Night 2, Monday morning, I guess, Night 2, right, of WrestleMania.
Yes. So
we'll be back.
On Friday, we are gonna be here live right after NXT, so you guys can join us for that. The week after, which is Monday afternoon.
Yep.
Right night 1 which is a Saturday, right? Night
Yes.
1 of WrestleMania is Saturday, then night 2 is Sunday, which is Monday morning for us.
Yeah.
We'll be coming in the same time that we came in during Royal Rumble. If you guys remember watching us from the first episode, around 11 or 12, right after WrestleMania is done, we'll talk about WrestleMania.
Yeah, basically after WrestleMania is done, come join us on YouTube as we break it down. Fresh off of WrestleMania, the WrestleMania hype. Yo, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
It's gonna be a great hangout session. I mean, regardless of what's gonna happen at WrestleMania, I'm sure we got a lot of shit to talk about.
Oh, for sure. So whatever it is, hey, enjoy the wrestling from like today all the way till next week. It's gonna be crazy, and as always, hit us up on our socials to chat about it. Okay, I think it's time to wrap it up. We were like, all right, we're just gonna do a preview today. It's gonna be a quick episode.
Thanks for hanging out with us for the last 2 hours. On average, we are doing 1.5 hour episodes and 2 hour episodes. So this is like par for the course, lah.
Exactly. So okay. Let's go get the hell out of here, guys. Enjoy your public holiday, long weekend. Do what you need to do. Get rest, because next week is gonna be wrestling every single day.
Yeah, man. Stay tuned for the hype.
Yeah, we out, yo. It's Mr. Young.
And it's foreign in the building.
Best Booker of 2020.